So I put this mind map together because memory is a topic where the single most important idea is also the easiest to forget once you get buried in all the details. So I put it right in the center that operates on reconstructing things that it's not like a perfect recollection, or a perfect recording rather. I wanted that framing at the heart of the map to be just sort of right there because it makes everything sort of make sense with all these multiple different avenues of stuff that I wrote down. From the center, I split off into a few main branches. The first is the three main memory systems, which is sort of the structural background, sort of backbone of memory. Um, I map sensory memory as the briefest type, um, which is holds for 100 to 200 milliseconds. Um, for vision, for sensory memory, and sound is for 3 to 4 seconds. Echoic memory. And then short-term memory, which holds roughly 7 items, give or take for 5 to 30 seconds, and then loses. I wrote that the loses through the process of decay, fading or interference, with something overlapping over the top of it. Um, and then I know that it can be stretched through chunking, which is grouping items, or rehearsal, which is repeating them. I feel like all these three memory types of memory need a bit of detail to really capture the depth of them. And then long-term memory is the deepest form of memory, which splits into implicit memory, the kind of no conscious recall habits, like getting habituated to things, sort of physical skills like driving, putting on your shoes and tying shoelaces, stuff that you don't consciously recall. Um, and then explicit, which is deliberate memory of personal events, like remembering dates, um, certain memories, facts of things that you've read and such. And then I moved on to the next branch, which is the three main processes, because the system describing where memory lives and the process describing what is actually happening to it. You know, um, I mapped encoding, which depends on the attention and depth, and then noted the factors that assist it, which is attention, depth of understanding, emotion, and meaning, the different factors that assist with encoding. And then I wrote down the storage, which just keeps the information after encoding using schemas. And then I tied back to the central idea with schemas fill in the mental framework, but they're not, you know, exactly perfect. They're reconstructing, which is one of how memories sort of get muddled. So I kept that there. And then retrieval. And they've got the 3 R's of retrieval, which is recall, 3 R's of recall, so retrieval and recall, which is generating and recognition and relearning. You'll note how not retrieval is not perfect as well. And it helps being in the same situation when the coding happens, so same room, same sort of environment, like same things happening. It's called dependent memory. And the third branch is biological basis, which because I didn't want the memory to stay abstract. There is tangible parts of your brain that help facilitate that sort of thing. I mapped how the neurons and the synaptic connections are the foundation, and how strengthening those connections over repeated uses actually what forms a memory. I include the details like of the core neurological function and biological function behind memory, the glutamate acting on the MDA and the AMPA receptors. So just the mechanisms as well behind memory. I narrowed it down to the parts of the brain as well that contribute to memory the most, the amygdala and the hippocampus, and the structures behind it, how that sort of interfaces with memory. And the last branch is changes and failures in memory. You know, sort of the process that when our memory moves on through your life. The reason I structured that way was moving from the systems of the process biology and how memory fails, and then every branch sort of comes back to that. It's an imperfect thing, and then it's not a perfect recording. So it's just working through the biology and all the processes.